If you're seeing this video right now, don't scroll. I'm trying to show you something important right now. This isn't random. There's a divine reason you're here, and what you're about to hear could shift everything in your life. You know, there are moments in life when I speak so clearly, so directly, that if you miss them, you miss entire seasons of blessing. And I believe, I know, that this is one of those moments for you. Let me ask you something. Have you been feeling forgotten lately? Like you've been praying, believing, working, pushing forward, but the breakthrough just isn't coming? Have you looked around and seen others moving forward while you feel stuck in the same place? Maybe you've even started to wonder if I still see you. If I still remember the promises I whispered to your heart. I need you to hear this clearly. I have not forgotten you. In fact, the very opposite is happening right now. The reason you're watching this video at this exact moment is because I am positioning you for one of the most significant shifts you've experienced in years. The delay you've been experiencing, it hasn't been denial. It's been preparation. Look at what I say in Isaiah chapter 49, verses 15 through 16. Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has borne? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Think about that image for a moment. Your name isn't written on a piece of paper that can be lost. It's not stored in a file that can be misplaced. It's engraved on the palms of my hands. Every time I move, every time I work, every time I act, I see your name. You are permanently inscribed in my attention. Now, I don't know your specific situation the way you experience it, but I know it completely. Maybe you're dealing with financial pressure that just won't let up. Perhaps it's a relationship that's been broken for so long you've forgotten what peace feels like. It could be a health battle, a career that's stalled, a ministry that hasn't launched, or a dream that feels like it died years ago. But here's what I want you to understand. I specialize in resurrection. I don't just fix broken things, I bring dead things back to life. And the sign I'm sending you right now, through this very video, is this: your resurrection season is beginning. There are 3 specific signs that I am about to shift things in your life. And I believe that if you're watching this, you're experiencing at least one, maybe all 3, of these right now. The first sign is a holy restlessness. It's not depression, though it might feel heavy at times. It's not anxiety, though it might feel urgent. It's a stirring in your spirit, a sense that something is about to change, that you can't keep living the way you've been living. This restlessness is actually me disturbing your peace with the status quo because I'm preparing you for something greater. I'm making you uncomfortable where you are because where you are is not where you're supposed to stay. The second sign is that you keep seeing or hearing the same message. Maybe it's a Bible verse that keeps showing up everywhere. Perhaps it's a phrase that multiple people have spoken to you. It could be a dream you've had more than once, or even a song that won't leave your mind. I am trying to get your attention, to prepare your heart for what I'm about to do. I don't speak once and then go silent. When I have something important to say, I repeat it in different ways until you finally hear me. The third sign is that old doors are closing. This is the one that hurts the most but matters the most. You've been losing things, relationships, opportunities, comfort zones. It feels like loss, but it's actually divine redirection. I am closing doors that would have kept you from your destiny. I'm removing what would have held you back from my best. Every closed door is my protection, not my rejection. If even one of these resonates with you, that's your confirmation. I am moving in your life right now. But here's where most people miss it. They recognize the signs, they feel the stirring, but then they don't respond correctly. They either ignore it and keep living the same way, or they panic and try to force things to happen in their own strength. What I want to share with you over the rest of this message is how to respond to this season, how to position yourself for the breakthrough that's coming, and how to avoid the mistakes that could delay it even further. There's something critical you need to understand about how I work. I don't operate on your timeline. I operate on my perfect timing. And my timing is always designed to accomplish multiple purposes at once. Think about Joseph. 17 years old, given a dream by me that he would be a leader, that his family would bow before him. And what happened immediately after that promise? He was thrown into a pit by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned for years. 13 years passed between the promise and its fulfillment. 13 years of what looked like the complete opposite of my word coming true. But here's what people often miss. During those 13 years, I wasn't absent. I was actively preparing Joseph for a position that required not just gifting, but character. The pit taught him humility. The slavery taught him servanthood. The false accusation taught him to trust my vindication more than man's opinion. The prison taught him patience and faithfulness in obscurity. When Pharaoh finally promoted Joseph to second in command of Egypt, he wasn't just ready for the position, he had been perfectly prepared for it. And because of that preparation, he didn't just save his own family, he saved entire nations from famine. Your delay has been your preparation. Every closed door, every disappointment, every season of waiting, I have been using it all to shape you into the person who can handle what I'm about to give you. You see, a lot of people pray for breakthrough, but they're not ready for it. They want the blessing but haven't developed the character to sustain it. They want the promotion but haven't learned the faithfulness required in small things. They want the miracle but haven't cultivated the faith to maintain it. I love you too much to give you something you're not ready for. Because if I did, it would destroy you rather than establish you. Look at Psalm 37, verses 23 through 24. The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with his hand. Notice the progression here. First, it says I make your steps firm. Not fast. Not immediate. Firm. That means established, secure, built on a foundation that won't crack under pressure. Then it acknowledges reality. You may stumble. You're going to face challenges, obstacles, moments where you almost fall. But, and this is crucial, you will not fall. Why? Because I myself am upholding you with my hand. What feels like stumbling to you is actually me holding you up. What feels like delay is actually me making your steps firm. You haven't fallen, even though you've faced things that should have destroyed you. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's my hand on your life. Let me speak directly to your situation right now, whoever you are, wherever you are. The thing that almost broke you didn't break you. The loss that should have destroyed your faith didn't destroy it. The disappointment that could have made you give up on me didn't make you quit. You're still here. You're still believing. You're still trusting. And that is the evidence that my hand has been on you this entire time. You haven't been abandoned, you've been upheld. You haven't been forgotten, you've been carefully watched over. And now, after the testing, after the preparation, after the faithfulness in obscurity, I am about to showcase you. There's a shift happening in the spiritual realm right now. Things that have been blocked are being unblocked. Doors that have been closed are beginning to open. Favor that has been delayed is being released. It's not because you've earned it, it's because your time has come. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, Solomon writes, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." Your season of waiting is ending. Your season of breakthrough is beginning. And the reason I can say that with such confidence is because I am the one who led you to this message. I'm preparing your heart right now for what I'm about to do. But I need to warn you about something. The enemy knows this too. He sees what I'm doing, and he's going to make one final push to discourage you, to distract you, to get you to quit right before your breakthrough. Have you noticed things getting harder lately? More attacks, more setbacks, more discouragement. That's not evidence that you're going the wrong direction, it's evidence that you're getting close. The enemy doesn't waste ammunition on people who aren't a threat to his kingdom. The fact that the attack has intensified means your breakthrough is imminent. The darkest hour really is just before dawn. And friend, dawn is coming. So if you're tired, I understand. If you're discouraged, I get it. If you've been wondering how much longer you can hold on, I know exactly how you feel. But this is not the time to quit. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to walk away. This is the time to dig in, to stand firm, to declare my faithfulness one more time. Because what I'm about to do in your life is worth every moment of waiting you've endured. Now let's talk about something more specific. Why you? Why are you the one experiencing this particular preparation? Why has your path been so difficult? The answer is simple but profound, because of what I have called you to do. You are not ordinary. I know the world has tried to make you feel small. I know circumstances have tried to convince you that you're average, that you don't matter, that your life won't make a difference. But that's a lie straight from the pit of hell. The truth is, I don't waste extraordinary preparation on ordinary callings. I don't put people through fire unless I'm purifying them for something significant. Look at Moses, 40 years in Pharaoh's palace learning leadership, then 40 years in the wilderness learning dependence on me. 80 years of preparation for 40 years of ministry. Why? Because he was going to lead millions out of slavery and establish a nation. Look at David, years being hunted by Saul, hiding in caves, running for his life. Why? Because I was preparing him to be a king after my own heart, someone who would establish a kingdom and a lineage through which the Messiah would come. Look at Paul, years of being the church's greatest enemy, then years of blindness and obscurity, then years of persecution and imprisonment. Why? Because I was preparing him to write most of the New Testament and establish churches across the known world. The level of your testing indicates the level of your calling. The intensity of your preparation reveals the significance of your assignment. So let me ask you, what have I been teaching you through this season? What have you learned about my faithfulness? What have you learned about prayer? What have you learned about trusting me when you can't see the way forward? All of that has been curriculum, not coincidence. I have been training you, equipping you, preparing you for something that requires exactly what you've been learning. Think about these areas of your life. If you've experienced financial pressure, I may be preparing you to be a generous giver, someone who will fund kingdom work, someone who understands how to steward resources wisely. If you've experienced relational pain, I may be preparing you to be a healer, a counselor, someone who can minister to the brokenhearted because you've experienced brokenness yourself. If you've battled with health issues, I may be preparing you to be a testimony of my healing power, someone who will encourage others who are facing similar struggles. If you've faced career frustration, I may be closing one career path because I'm opening another one, something you never would have pursued if I hadn't pushed you out of your comfort zone. If you've walked through spiritual dryness, I may be teaching you to find me not based on feelings, but based on faith, a lesson you'll need when you're leading others through their own dry seasons. Every single thing you've walked through has purpose. None of it has been wasted. I don't allow suffering without reason, and I don't allow difficulty without design. I sense in my spirit that some of you watching this are being called to minister to people who are going through exactly what you just went through. Your mess is becoming your message. Your test is becoming your testimony. Others of you are being positioned for business or career breakthroughs that will give you influence and resources to advance my kingdom in ways you've never imagined. Still others are being prepared for family restoration. You're going to see prodigal children return, marriages healed, family cycles broken, generational curses ended. And some of you, you're being prepared to simply be a light in your workplace, your neighborhood, your circle of influence. You won't have a platform, but you'll have an impact. You won't be famous, but you'll be faithful. And in my kingdom, that's what matters most. Whatever I have called you to do, it's time to stop running from it. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting until you feel qualified. You will never feel qualified for what I've called you to do. That's by design. If you felt qualified, you wouldn't need me. Moses had a speech impediment. Gideon was the weakest in his family. David was the youngest and forgotten. Esther was an orphan. Peter was impulsive. Paul was a murderer. I don't call the qualified. I qualify the called. And if I've called you, and the fact that you're still standing after everything you've been through proves I have, then I will qualify you. Philippians chapter 1, verse 6 says, "Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." I don't start things I don't finish. If I began a work in your life, and I did, I will complete it. Your preparation isn't over yet, but it's far enough along that breakthrough is now possible. So we've established that I haven't forgotten you, that your delay has been preparation, and that you have a specific calling on your life. Now let's talk about how you actually step into what I have for you. Because here's the thing, I will do my part, but there's a part you have to play too. Breakthrough is a partnership between my sovereignty and your obedience. I open the door, but you have to walk through it. The first thing you must do is surrender what you're holding on to. And I'm not talking about surrendering to my will in general. Most of you have already done that. I'm talking about surrendering the specific thing you've been holding on to that's keeping you from moving forward. For some of you, it's unforgiveness. Someone hurt you deeply, and you've been carrying that pain, that bitterness, that resentment. You have every right to feel hurt. What they did was wrong. But holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's destroying you, not them. I am saying, let it go. Release them. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. For others, it's control. You've been trying to make things happen in your own strength, in your own timing, in your own way. You've been planning, strategizing, manipulating circumstances, forcing doors open. And you're exhausted because you were never meant to carry that weight. I am saying, let me drive. Take your hands off the wheel. Trust my timing and my methods even when they don't make sense to you. For still others, it's fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of the unknown. Fear of disappointing people. Fear of not being enough. That fear has been keeping you in your comfort zone, keeping you from stepping out in faith, keeping you from saying yes to what I'm calling you to do. I am saying, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. The thing you're afraid of is the very thing I'm calling you to. and I will be with you every step of the way. Pause for a moment if you need to. Ask the Holy Spirit, what am I holding onto that I need to release? What is blocking my breakthrough? And then have the courage to surrender it. Write it down. Pray about it. But don't keep holding on to something that I am asking you to let go of. The second thing you must do is obey the last thing I clearly told you to do that you haven't done yet. A lot of you are waiting for new direction from me when you haven't obeyed the last direction I gave you. You're asking, what's next, God? And I'm responding, what about what I already told you? Maybe I told you to have a difficult conversation and you've been avoiding it. Maybe I told you to end a relationship that's not my will for you and you're still hanging on. Maybe I told you to start something, a business, a ministry, a creative project, and you've been procrastinating out of fear or insecurity. Here's the truth, I don't give step 2 until you've taken step 1. I don't show you the full path, I show you the next step. And your breakthrough is on the other side of your obedience to that next step. In 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22, the prophet Samuel says, "Does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams." You can worship me on Sunday, you can pray eloquent prayers, you can serve in church, you can give generously, but if you're not obeying what I've specifically told you to do, all of that is just noise. I'm not impressed by your religious activity if you're ignoring my direct instruction. Obedience is the key that unlocks breakthrough. Not partial obedience. Not delayed obedience. Not selective obedience. Complete, immediate, wholehearted obedience to what I've clearly told you to do. And I know it's scary. I know it doesn't make sense. I know you can't see how it's all going to work out. But that's where faith comes in. Faith isn't believing I can do something. Faith is trusting I will do something even when you can't see how. Abraham didn't know where he was going when I told him to leave his homeland, but he went. Moses didn't know how he would lead millions of people through the wilderness, but he led. Noah didn't know why he was building a boat when there was no rain, but he built. Mary didn't know how she would bear a son as a virgin, but she said yes. And you don't know how your obedience will lead to breakthrough, but you have to trust me and obey anyway. The third thing you must do is worship me in the waiting. This is the hardest one because it's counterintuitive. When things aren't working out, when the breakthrough hasn't come yet, when you're still in the wilderness, your natural response is to complain, to question, to doubt. But I'm calling you to a supernatural response, worship. Not because everything is perfect, but because I am perfect. Not because you understand what I'm doing, but because you trust who I am. When Paul and Silas were in prison, beaten and chained, they didn't complain. They worshipped. And at midnight, when their worship hit the atmosphere, the prison shook, the chains fell off, and the doors flew open. Your breakthrough is connected to your worship. When you worship me in the midst of difficulty, you're declaring that I am bigger than your circumstances. You're declaring that I am faithful even when life isn't fair. You're declaring that I am worthy of praise not because of what you're going through, but in spite of what you're going through. And that kind of worship moves my heart. It shakes the foundations of whatever is holding you captive. It breaks chains you can't even see. It opens doors you didn't even know were there. So right now, in this moment, I want you to make a decision. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you praise me. Stop waiting for the breakthrough to come before you worship me. Start worshiping me now, in the mess, in the waiting, in the uncertainty. Because that's when your worship is most powerful. That's when it releases the most breakthrough. That's when it moves my hand on your behalf. Now let me tell you what happens when you surrender, obey, and worship. First, clarity comes. When you stop holding on to what you need to release, when you obey what I've told you to do, when you worship me in the waiting, suddenly things that were confusing become clear. You start seeing my plan. You start understanding why things happened the way they did. You start recognizing my hand in situations where you thought I was absent. Second, doors open. Not just any doors, the right doors. Doors that align with my will for your life. Doors that lead to your destiny. Doors that have been closed for years suddenly swing wide open, and you walk through them with ease because it's my perfect timing. Third, provision appears. The resources you need, the people you need, the opportunities you need, they all start showing up. Not because you manipulated circumstances or forced things to happen, but because you positioned yourself in the flow of my will, and when you're in my will, my provision follows. Fourth, peace settles. The anxiety, the worry, the restlessness, it all begins to fade. Not because your circumstances have changed yet, but because you've anchored yourself in my presence. And in my presence, there is fullness of joy and peace that surpasses understanding. Fifth, momentum builds. Things that have been stagnant for years suddenly start moving. Projects that were stuck suddenly progress. Relationships that were broken suddenly heal. Health that was declining suddenly improves. It's like a dam that's been holding back water suddenly breaks, and everything flows forward with unstoppable force. I want to tell you something that might surprise you. Your breakthrough has already started. It started the moment you clicked on this video. It started the moment you decided to keep watching instead of scrolling past. It started the moment my words began to penetrate your heart and stir your faith. See, breakthrough doesn't always look like a sudden, dramatic change. Sometimes it starts with a seed, a word, a thought, a stirring in your spirit. And that seed, when watered with faith and obedience, grows into a harvest that exceeds everything you imagined. The seed has been planted in your heart today. Now it's your job to water it. Water it with faith by believing what I've told you, even when you can't see evidence yet. Water it with obedience by doing what I've called you to do, even when it's uncomfortable. Water it with worship by praising me in the waiting, even when it's hard. Water it with my word by speaking scripture over your life, over your situation, over your future. Water it with prayer by staying connected to me, by talking to me throughout your day, by listening for my voice. And as you water that seed, you're going to start seeing growth. Small at first, maybe just a change in your perspective, a shift in your emotions, a piece that wasn't there before. But then it's going to grow bigger. Opportunities will start appearing. Favor will start showing up. People will start noticing something different about you. And before you know it, that seed will be a full-grown tree producing fruit that feeds not just you, but everyone around you. Now I want to address something that might be going through your mind right now. You might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. I've heard messages like this before, and nothing changed. Why should this time be different? And that's a fair question. Here's why this time is different, because you're different. You're not the same person you were the last time you heard a message like this. You've been through more. You've learned more. You've grown more. You've been prepared more. The testing you've endured, the waiting you've survived, the faithfulness you've maintained, it's all shaped you into someone who is finally ready to receive what I've been trying to give you. The difference between success and failure, between breakthrough and breakdown, often comes down to one word: timing. It's not that I didn't want to bless you before. It's that you weren't ready before. But now you are. Now the timing is right. Now the preparation is complete. Now the season is here. And if you'll just trust me one more time, if you'll just believe me one more time, if you'll just obey me one more time, you're going to see things shift in ways you never thought possible. Let me paint a picture for you of what your life is going to look like on the other side of this breakthrough. You're going to wake up one morning, and the weight you've been carrying for years will be gone. Not because your circumstances changed overnight, but because your perspective changed. You'll see that I was with you all along, that I was working even when you couldn't see it, that I was preparing you even when you thought you were just surviving. You're going to look back at this season and understand why every closed door was necessary, why every delay was purposeful, why every disappointment was actually divine protection. You'll see the full picture, and you'll be grateful that I didn't give you what you wanted when you wanted it, because what I have for you now is so much better. You're going to experience a level of peace and joy that you haven't felt in years. Not the kind of happiness that depends on circumstances, but deep, unshakable joy that comes from knowing you're exactly where I want you to be, doing exactly what I created you to do. You're going to have such clarity about your purpose that you'll wonder how you ever felt confused. You'll know exactly what I'm calling you to do, and you'll have the courage to do it. You won't second-guess yourself anymore. You won't compare yourself to others anymore. You'll be secure in your identity as my beloved child, called and equipped for a specific assignment. You're going to see provision in ways that don't make natural sense. Money will show up when you need it. Opportunities will appear out of nowhere. People will offer to help you without you even asking. Resources that seemed impossible to access will suddenly become available. And you'll know it's me because there's no other explanation. You're going to experience restoration in relationships you thought were dead. Family members who have been distant will reach out. Friendships that were broken will be healed. Marriages that were struggling will find new life. And you'll see that I am the God who restores what the locusts have eaten, who rebuilds what was torn down, who brings life to what was dead. You're going to have influence beyond what you ever imagined. Not because you're trying to be influential, but because when you're walking in your calling, influence is a natural byproduct. People will be drawn to you. They'll want to know what you have, how you changed, why you're different. And you'll have the opportunity to point them to me. You're going to look back at this very moment, watching this video, and recognize it as a turning point. You'll remember that this was when everything started to shift, when the seed of breakthrough was planted, when hope was rekindled in your heart. And you'll be grateful that you didn't skip this video, that you kept watching, that you opened your heart to hear what I wanted to say to you. But here's the thing, none of this happens automatically. You have a choice to make right now. You can watch this video, feel encouraged for a moment, and then go back to living the same way you've been living. Or you can make a decision right here, right now, that things are going to be different. That you're going to surrender what I'm asking you to surrender. That you're going to obey what I've called you to obey. That you're going to worship me in the waiting. That you're going to water the seed that's been planted in your heart today. The choice is yours. I've done my part. I've spoken to you. I've encouraged you. I've revealed the path forward. Now it's your turn to respond. Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt steal this moment. Don't let the enemy convince you that nothing will change. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your season. And if you'll just take one step of faith, I'll take 10 steps toward you. If you'll just open your heart to believe, I'll move heaven and earth to bring my word to pass in your life. Let me pray over you right now, wherever you are, whatever you're facing. Father, I thank you for every person who is watching this video right now. I thank you that it's no accident they're here. You orchestrated this divine appointment because you have something to say to them, something to give them, something to release in their lives. I pray right now that every chain would be broken. Every door that needs to open would open. Every breakthrough that's been delayed would be released. I speak peace over anxious hearts. I speak hope over discouraged souls. I speak clarity over confused minds. I speak strength over weary bodies. I speak provision over financial needs. I speak healing over broken relationships. I speak restoration over everything the enemy has stolen. I declare that this is a turning point. That what begins today will transform their entire lives. That they will look back on this moment and recognize it as the day everything changed. I cancel every assignment of the enemy against them. Every plan to discourage, to distract, to defeat, I cancel it right now in my name. No weapon formed against them will prosper. Every tongue that rises against them in judgment will be condemned. I surround them with favor as with a shield. I order their steps. I make their paths straight. I go before them to prepare the way, and I come behind them to cover their backs. They are completely protected, completely provided for, completely prepared for what's ahead. I release fresh faith into their hearts right now. Faith to believe that I am who I say I am. Faith to trust that I will do what I said I will do. Faith to step out even when they can't see the full path. Faith that moves mountains, that speaks to storms, that walks on water. I declare that they will not be the same after this moment. Something has shifted in the spiritual realm. Something has been set in motion that cannot be stopped. The breakthrough they've been praying for is on its way. The promise they've been believing for is about to manifest. The miracle they've been waiting for is about to happen. And they will give me all the glory. They will testify of my faithfulness. They will tell everyone who will listen about what I've done. And their story will encourage countless others to trust me, to believe me, to wait on me. This is my word to them today. This is my promise. This is my declaration. And it will not return void. It will accomplish exactly what I sent it to accomplish. In Jesus' name, amen. Now before we finish, I want to leave you with one final thought. You've heard a lot today. You've received encouragement, instruction, prayer. But none of it matters if you don't do something with it. The word I've spoken to you today is like a seed, but seeds don't produce fruit just by existing. They have to be planted, watered, cultivated. So here's what I want you to do. First, make a decision right now that you're going to believe what I've told you today. Not just intellectually agree with it, but actually believe it in your heart. Believe that I haven't forgotten you. Believe that your delay has been preparation. Believe that breakthrough is coming. Speak it out loud if you need to. Write it down. Make it concrete. Second, identify the one thing I've been telling you to do that you haven't done yet. You know what it is. You felt it while watching this video. Don't ignore it. Don't rationalize it away. Don't say you'll do it later. Commit right now to taking action on it within the next 24 hours. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Now. Third, start worshiping me for your breakthrough before you see it. Don't wait until everything changes to praise me. Praise me now. Thank me now. Worship me now. Do it in your car. Do it in your home. Do it in your prayer closet. But do it. Because your worship is what shifts the atmosphere and releases the breakthrough. Fourth, share this message with someone who needs it. You're not the only one who's been waiting, who's been struggling, who's been wondering if I still see them. There's someone in your life right now who needs to hear this. Send them this video. Tell them about what I spoke to your heart. Be the encouragement to them that this video has been to you. And fifth, stay connected to me. Don't let this be a one-time moment of inspiration that fades away. Make time with me a daily priority. Read my word. Pray. Listen. Stay in my presence. Because breakthrough isn't just about receiving something once, it's about living in a continual flow of my blessing, my favor, my provision. I want you to know something. I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you're still standing. I'm proud that you didn't give up. I'm proud that you kept believing even when it was hard. I'm proud that you're here right now, opening your heart to hear from me. You could have scrolled past this video. You could have stopped watching 5 minutes in. But you didn't. You stayed. And that tells me something about your heart. It tells me you're hungry for more. It tells me you're desperate for breakthrough. It tells me you're ready to step into everything I have for you. And because you're ready, I'm ready. Because you're willing, I'm moving. Because you're believing, I'm releasing. Your breakthrough isn't just coming. It's here. It's beginning right now, in this moment. And what starts today will continue to unfold in the days, weeks, and months ahead. You're going to see doors open that have been closed for years. You're going to see provision appear from sources you never expected. You're going to see relationships restored that you thought were beyond repair. You're going to see dreams revived that you thought were dead. You're going to see your purpose become clear when it's been cloudy for so long. You're going to see my faithfulness in ways that will leave you speechless. And you're going to know, without a doubt, that I am real, that I am good, and that I am faithful to my promises. So don't give up. Don't quit. Don't lose heart. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Your promise is nearer than you realize. Your victory is just around the corner. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep obeying. Keep worshiping. Keep standing. Keep fighting. Keep pressing forward. Because I promise you, when you finally break through to the other side, you're going to look back and say it was all worth it. Every tear. Every struggle. Every moment of waiting. It will all make sense, and you'll understand why it had to happen the way it did. This is my word to you today. Receive it. Believe it. Act on it. And watch what I do in your life. I love you. I'm with you. And I will never leave you. Your breakthrough is here. Now walk in it.